The mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, seems to disagree with many black residents of the city when it comes to the negative impact that the migrant crisis has had on them and the entire city as a whole. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, apparently disagreeing with many black Americans as it relates to what the migrant crisis has done to them in the city of Chicago, and not just the black residents, but the entire city. He seems to think that it's not really a big deal. They've not really harmed us. They've not really done anything to us. And when I say us, I mean black Americans. Although I'm not a Chicago resident, I empathize with what they're going through, because what they're going through in Chicago is being felt all over the country. And it was most certainly felt during the Biden administration. This is why when Trump was running again, the third time, I said my chief issue, the chief problem with the country was the migrant crisis. And I think a lot of American citizens would agree with me, except for Brandon Johnson. Now, before I go any further, let's get into this video from a Chicago resident. And I think all of what she says, many of us believe as well. If you want to see this video in full, I'll link to it in the description box. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I really thought when ICE came to Chicago, we was gonna cut up how LA did, or how Minneapolis did. But y'all wanna know the reason why I feel like Chicago didn't cut up like that?
Now, she's gonna say some things you might not understand. Some of y'all, when she's saying cut up, she's like saying go out in the street, act a fool. You know, let's keep on going.
And I'm choosing to do one of my political science papers on this for South America. And I'm gonna do it on the mass migration of Venezuelans to Chicago. I feel like that migration desensitized like the city to immigrants. Like, we didn't feel bad about them not speaking English, because the Venezuelans, they came here by the boatload. And not only did they come by the boatload, they was getting hella money in link, holding up the A offices. Man, y'all, I was working in security in the A office. When I say it was such a big difference from what the A office looked before they came and when they came, they coming there getting $3,000-$4,000 on link and cash aid. They getting all type of aid from the government. Meanwhile, citizens, real citizens who pay taxes, was sitting there damn near begging for $100 a month in link. Let's
pause. So the Venezuelan migrants getting $3,000 and $4,000 on their link card, some kind of benefits card, right? $3,000 and $4,000, they're getting it, no problem. You are a Chicago citizen, a natural born American citizen, you get $100 or nothing. Is that fair? I don't think so, but I digress.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Man, y'all know black people talk shit, so everybody in the office, because it's two separate lines for the immigrants and the citizens, because it's like 1 million in their ass and outside the offices every morning. So the black people will notice, and they be like, all these motherfuckers here, because they getting this much money, and they getting this. I saw somebody leave a receipt with this balance on it. Like, they do a bunch of that, so everybody know or knew what the Venezuelans had going on. Everybody was getting enraged by it, though. Like, nobody was like, oh yeah, their country is literally inhabitable. They need to be here with us. We helping them with a sanctuary shit. They was thinking, okay, we get it, y'all got a fucked up country, but y'all fucking up our city, so go. Type shit. Like, they just didn't care. And again, like I said, they was supplying these Venezuelans and everything. These motherfuckers had cars and all. They was fucking people cars up. They kept getting accidents, and then you can't even communicate in English with these motherfuckers to get their insurance or shit.
So they're getting cars, crashing the cars, can't speak English, getting all these benefits. The residents, the natural born citizens, people that's been in Chicago forever, the Americans are like, how are they able to do all this stuff? And it's not really a big deal. We do a fraction of that, they're going to throw us in the penitentiary.
Because they don't speak English. Like, I'm not going to lie. That time, around that time, a year or two ago, for them full 2 years, it was bad. I really feel like that made Chicago people not give a fuck about immigrants. And I wish the shit ain't play out like that, because I really do feel like if we understood what their country looked like, we understand why we had sanctuary cities to begin with. And another thing they was doing, they was coming over here with fucking ankle monitors and shit on. Like, you know how hard it is as a citizen to see somebody getting thousands of dollars and paid easily, and they're not even a citizen, and they got the nerve to have on house arrest ban. So you clearly a criminal, and regular American citizens can't get these same benefits that they asking for 10 times less than what you getting. I think that's why we didn't cut up for the immigrants, domestic immigrants, when I start coming here fucking shit up.
You know, when you're talking about cutting up for the immigrants and basically doing the whole Minneapolis thing, the Alex Preddy thing, getting yourself deleted because you're trying to fight ICE agents to prevent them from deporting people. The reason Chicago residents didn't do that is because they wanted them to be out of there. Also, a lot of the people in other parts of the country were cutting up in the streets, acting up in the streets because they were being paid to do so. Well, we see where the money went in Chicago. It went straight to the illegal aliens, not to the citizens.
At that point, we just desensitized immigrants completely, and that's fucked up even more. Okay? But I'm not gonna lie, the way Chicago handled being a sanctuary city for them was also fucked up. Y'all got starving Chicagoans, y'all got homeless Chicagoans. Why the fuck are y'all clearing out vacant buildings for Venezuelans? But, all right.
All right, there we go. So basically, what I heard from that, and that was great, by the way. Shout out to her. I don't know her name or anything. If you guys know it, y'all let me know. But what she's saying is, look, we, the Chicago residents, don't care about these illegal aliens because we got our own problems. They come in here starting problems and getting paid to do it. And it's obvious that they're starting problems, or they are problems in general, because a lot of them got ankle monitors on. Like, you already see that they're criminal people. And I'm not just speaking about Venezuelans in general. I'm speaking about the criminal aliens. I don't care where you came from. But with Chicago specifically, a lot of Venezuelan people went there. Now, let's go to what Brandon Johnson said, because I think he does not really agree with the young lady that just spoke. Let's check it out.
A migrant has never done anything to disrupt the progress of black people, and I will be doggone if I will allow white supremacy to separate black people from the people of this globe. Because it was black businesses that fed migrants. It was black businesses that provided hope and aspirations for the people who have been marginalized across this globe. But we also have to be very clear that the injustices that we feel within the black community are real. The history of this city of closing black schools, disrupting health clinics from black communities, shutting down housing for black people, firing black people from public sector positions. Understand that our fight for justice is not over. I'm old enough to remember where black people understand our global connection one to another, that what happens in South Africa and Soweto is not that much different than what happens in Cabrini Green on the north side of Chicago, or the favelas in Brazil.
This Pan-African type of talk is kind of retarded, because if you got gangs in Chicago that can't get along with each other, then how are you going to make it be a thing where we all get along in other parts of the world with different languages, cultures, religions, customs, history? I don't really understand that kind of talk. Let's focus on getting along where we are first and then branch out. But until then, this is just kind of, silly talk.
That we're all interconnected, that somehow just because a ship made it a little bit further across the coast, I'm not going to allow the constant separation to continue to divide us. Because they've already done that. And it's important that in this moment that we reconnect ourselves. Do you know in 2015, 1 in 10 black folks in this country were foreign born? If we allow blackness to be separated, liberation is not possible. We have to build a resistance in this country through the lens of black liberation that guarantees equal access to affordable housing. We have.
Oh, Brandon Johnson, equal access to affordable housing. Okay, so let me ask you a question, because this is kind of really ironic here. There was an ICE operation in Chicago. What was that, last year or 24? Somebody in the comments, please give me some correction on that. But there was an ICE operation on an apartment complex, and one of the buildings of the complex was supposed to be abandoned. No one should have been in there. What happened was Venezuelan illegal aliens took it over, and ICE came to get them and get them out. Now, during the raid, I think there were a couple of American citizens who were briefly detained. They were not deported. They were not locked up, but they were just trespassing in the building with the other Venezuelans. It was 98.9% Venezuelan and like 2 Americans. Did you complain about the Americans who were briefly detained and released because of the deportation for the Venezuelan migrants that was a targeted operation? Did you complain about that? If you did complain about it, then how are you going to sit here and talk about affordable housing? I don't understand.
To build a movement that ensures that every single child has access to a high quality public education.
Public education. I'm sorry for the pausing, but I got to pause it here. Public education. Okay, when you dump thousands, tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of migrants into one area, who's going to educate them? Who's going to provide them services? How much is it going to cost? The taxpayer of Chicago is being burdened with the expense of the migrant crisis. You should be against migrants coming because of what they have done to your city. That's going to impact jobs, education, housing, everything. You should be on our side with the way you're talking, but a lot of this rhetoric is just empty, just for the video. Okay, get your little logo right there. It's just for the video. It's not really serious talk, in my humble opinion, but I digress.
Good paying jobs, access to transportation, healthcare. That is the work that we have to do. That's the way in which we can honor the essence of Black history. So God bless you all, and God bless the greatest freaking city in the world, the city of Chicago.
All right, there we go. So that is Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. What he said is a tad bit different than the Black Chicago resident that we heard from earlier. Now, before I close, I want to say this. Shout out to the natural born citizens of this country in Chicago, New York, LA, etc., who do not want the migrants here. If you want to come here legally as an immigrant, a visa, student visa, green card, whatever, it's totally fine. You're following the law. But when you come here illegally, I don't have nothing for you. All I got for you is the phone number to call ICE, 1-888-DH2-ICE. That's all I got. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about Brandon Johnson's take on the migrant crisis and how nobody has, they've not impacted Black people negatively? It's already, it's just a racist lie. It's white supremacy. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. How about the young lady that spoke before him? Do you think she was more on point? Do you think what she said is more accurate with how Chicago residents feel? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I 100% agree with the young lady in the beginning. 1000%. Look, and the whole thing about being a sanctuary city, just because someone's country has problems does not mean that their problems should become your problems. You got your own issues to deal with. You got to put your own life vest on first before you help somebody else. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.